Hello, Kenya here. On behalf of Michelle, REI, Meryl, and Kind Snacks, I'd like to welcome you to We Hike to Heal 2019, and my lip gloss is popping. I'd like to welcome you to We Hike to Heal 2019. Thank you so much for joining us, and thank you so much for being a part of this amazing journey with us for the third year in a row. 2019 represents our third year, and in the tradition and the spirit of the number 3, this year we're going to do something a little bit different. And so in addition to your weekly exercises, activities, challenges, and journaling prompts, we're also going to be doing these really short videos to help give you a little bit of background information about how to fill out the worksheets that I'm going to be sending to you, and also to kind of walk you through the process of what I did to create the worksheets for you. I want you to be very clear that anything that we send out to you via a worksheet, an exercise, or an activity is something that either me, Michelle, or the both of us have worked together on to create, and also that we use for ourselves. These worksheets and these activities are how we govern and manage our own personal development. And so whenever you do one, we're doing it too. We're participating right with you. So this week is all about pillar 1 of the pillars of mindful movement. Remember, there are 4 pillars of mindful movement, and each week we're going to focus on a different pillar. Week 1 is all about mind. And what we mean by mind is the mind pillar helps us to focus our time, energy, and our activities on doing, saying, and participating in things that create a more positive mental health environment for us. It also helps us to set intentions, not necessarily goals, but set intentions that are in alignment with our highest good. So this worksheet for week 1 is called The Woman I Want to Be. And this is something that came out of a 4-hour layover that I had in October of last year. I was coming up on my birthday. My birthday's in February, so this was October of 2018. I had a 4-hour layover, and I began to journal. And I like to journal a little bit more in depth than just what's happening with my day. And I thought about, okay, my birthday's coming up. What kind of year do I want to have in 2019? What kind of 37th, y'all. I know I look good, but I'm all out here. What kind of 37th solar return do I want to have? And I asked myself a very simple question. What kind of woman do I want to be? And when I thought about that, I was asking myself kind of, if 37 is the last year that I live, right? What do I want people to say about me? What do I want people to think about me? But more importantly, what do I want to say and think about myself? What are the qualities that I want to leave behind? How do I want to be known, and how do I want to show up in the world? And for me, that question, what kind of woman do I want to be, was more important than me setting a goal to lose 15 pounds or make a certain amount of money. Because I realized after all these years that the person I want to be is more important than the things that I want to accomplish. And if the things that I want to accomplish are not in alignment with the person that I want to be, I either 1, won't accomplish those things, or 2, will not feel fulfilled once I do. So that is where this worksheet came from. And so I want to share with you how I filled it out and give you some pointers on how you can fill it out for yourself. Now, the first thing to realize about your worksheet, if you don't have it, please pull it out right now, is that there are 6 sections to write in, okay? There's column 1, which is the left side that starts with I want to feel. Then there's column 2, which is the right side, which starts with I want to be. Now, everything that follows beneath those is a continuation of the column before it. So when you're, of the quadrant before it. So space 1, space 3, and space 5. If you're going down the left side of your page, this would be space 1. And I put numbers on mine, so this will make it a little bit easier. 1, 3, and 5 are related, and 2, 4, and 6 are related, okay? So meaning column 1 is all associated with itself, and column 2 is associated with itself. And what you want to do is you want to fill this out according to what your highest vision for yourself is. So I'm just going to start with the first column, column 1, which is the left side, and as it says, I want to feel. Now you'll notice with this is that one side says I want to feel, the other side says I want to be. And on purpose, the feelings are preceding the being. Why is that, Kenya? Because for the most part, everything that we want to accomplish because of the way that we think it is going to make us feel. Our feelings are what drive our goals. So at the core of everything that you want to accomplish, the weight loss, the money, the partner, at the core of that is a feeling that you're wanting to feel. So for me, it made more sense to start with what feelings do I want to have first, and then I'll talk about who I want to be second. So in this first quadrant, it says, I want to feel. And in this one, what you're going to do is talk about the feelings you want to feel. What do you consistently want to feel in your life? Do you want to feel beautiful? Do you want to feel abundant? Do you want to feel happy? Do you want to feel joy? Do you want to feel sexy? These are all of the adjectives that you want to be able to use to describe the way you feel on a day-to-day basis, okay? So for me, I wrote the word abundant, okay? Now in column 2, it says, I want to be. Now, this is where you start thinking about those action things that you want to do, those action adjectives that talk about the way in which you want to happen to life, the way in which you want to happen to people. So I said, I want to be generous. Generous is something that I want to be. And I chose those two things, abundant and generous, for a reason as my first things. And I chose them because of this. When you're in a space of abundance, it means you have more than enough. And lots of the things that we have and the goals that we want and the intentions that we have are because we're trying to counter a feeling that doesn't feel quite as good. So when you feel abundant, there's no room for scarcity. There's no room for lack. There's no room for not enough. There's no room for poverty because you feel like you have so much more than enough that you can give it away, right? So when you feel abundant, guess what you also are being in that moment? You're usually being generous because you feel like you have it to give, okay? This idea of excess, this idea of having more than enough is something I want to govern my experience here on planet Earth. And so I want to be very intentional about that, all right? So now we move on to quadrant 3, and it says, and here's what I'm going to do. Now remember that quadrant 3 relates to quadrant 1. I want to feel abundant. So here's what I'm going to do to feel abundant. And what I wrote down is, I'm going to give thoughtful gifts. I've been told I do a really great job doing thoughtful things and giving thoughtful gifts to people. And it's something that I really like to do, but it's also something that reminds me that I'm abundant, right? And these thoughtful gifts don't have to cost a lot of money. It can be something that could be easy for me to do. This week I made a flyer for a friend because she needed it for her business. It didn't cost me any money to do it. I like doing it, and it made me feel abundant because I had the time and I had the skill set to do something that really made her feel good, all right? Then you move over to quadrant 4, and this says, and here is what I'm going to do. Now, mind you, quadrant 4, again, relates to what's right above it, which is that generous, how I want to be. So I wrote, I'm going to have a charity birthday party. And I wrote that because for years I've wanted to do something where I was physically and formally giving back to some organization or organizations that I found value in. So that was my plan. What I'm going to do to be generous is I'm going to have a charity birthday party. Now, the last two quadrants, 5 and 6, these aren't as related as the other two. It's not that important. It just says, and this is when and how frequently. So what you're going to do here is you're going to think about, okay, how often am I going to do the thing that I said that I'm going to do in order to feel and be the way that I want to feel and be. So in quadrant 1, I wrote abundant. I said I'm going to give thoughtful gifts, and I said I'm going to do that whenever I feel motivated. So if I feel like I want to do something nice for someone today, I'll do it. If I feel it again tomorrow, I'll do it. If I don't feel it again until next month, I'll do it, right? And then on the other side, when I talk about wanting to be generous and having a charity birthday party, I said I'm going to do that, of course, annually because I'm only have a birthday once a year, right? So that is how you fill out the sheet. And I want to show you what mine looks like, okay? Here we are. First quadrant on the left side, I want to feel abundant, so I'm going to give thoughtful gifts, and I'm going to do that whenever I feel motivated. The woman I want to be generous, so I'm going to have a charity birthday party, and I'm going to do that annually because that's the only time I have a birthday. Now, what's really cool about this is this exercise gives you a new way to set goals. It gives you a way to set goals that is actually related to the feelings you want to feel and the person that you want to be. So now everything is connected. Everything in this middle area here, these are goals. These are concrete things that you're going to do. These are plans. And down here, you're telling yourself, how frequently you're going to do it. But the only reason why this is different and the reason why I love it is because it's actually related to what you want to feel and how and the woman that you want to be. So it makes things a lot more personal for you as you're moving through this journey of becoming, shout out to Michelle Obama. Now, that is one way to fill it out. Now, as you will notice with me, mines are all related. Abundance, generosity, giving gifts, charity, birthday party, whenever I feel well. All of these things are related. It doesn't have to be that way. You can have a bunch of other things. On my original list, I wrote things like I wanted to feel beautiful, and to do that, I was going to put on makeup once a week. I wrote that I wanted to feel sexy, and so I was going to make sure that I kept my nails and my feet done and get that done once a month, right? So it can be all of the different things that you want to do. It doesn't all have to be related at all 6 quadrants, as long as the columns line up. And when you do this, not only do I want you to post this on your social media so you can share it with us, hashtag wehiketoheal 2019 or at Outdoor Journal Tour, but I also want you to put this up somewhere in your home, a prominent place where you can see it every day and you can actually get into the feeling place of becoming this person that you say you want to become, and feeling the feelings that you want to feel in the process. I hope that makes sense. I want to thank you so much for your time, your attention, and for your participation. Please like and share any of the aspects of this experience that you like. We have 30 days of amazing content planned for you, but we cannot do this without you. So thank you so much. Also, I'm in my We Hike to Heal shirt. So make sure that you go to www.wehiketoheal.org to support the movement. Get yourself a shirt, a sweatshirt, a journal. Actually, the original journal that I wrote my stuff was in this journal right here. So grab yourself some We Hike to Heal swag and continue the process. In the meantime, 'tis all for now. Thank you so much.